Alright guys, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about Veracity's $120 billion market opportunity, their $120 billion competitive advantage, and what I really consider as Veracity's blue ocean strategy, because right now they have no competitors. So guys, if you are a new viewer, you gotta know that this channel, we're not shilling any coins like SHIB or Doge. Those kind of coins, those kind of projects, I don't really see any vision on them. So a lot of the projects that I cover here are going to be talking about the vision, because we need to know what we're investing in. A lot of people who lose money in the markets, they don't know what they're investing in. They don't know the vision, and that's what's important, because that vision is what's going to hold you through when the market dips like crazy, like what we're seeing now. I say that knowing that we still are in a bull market until things changes at the time of current filming. And I'm going to show you that later in technical analysis. That's what we're going to do today. We're also going to take a look at this market opportunity that Veracity has. So if you're thinking whether to buy or sell, it really is. You got to look at the vision. Look at the vision, see if that vision aligns with you, and then that can help you make a decision of, all right, I think this investment is great, I'm going to get in, or I think this investment really isn't for me, so I'm just going to stay out. All right, now before we get started on studying the video on demand market and Veracity's $120 billion market opportunity, can you please help me out by smashing the like and subscribe button, because that really helps the YouTube algorithm push this video out more to people who might be interested in Veracity, and you more if you're interested or invested in Veracity as well, because getting them on board will only help you. All right, so we're really going to look over this article estimating the size of the video on demand market, the VOD market, that is on Veracity's Medium blog. It's actually a really good read. I've read several of their blog posts and they're really well written. But what they're saying is that video on demand content is going to be the king of content in 2022, disrupting its earlier rivals to empower publishers, advertisers, viewers with more choice and higher revenues than ever before. Look, the fact is that influencers and content creators are expanding and making more money than ever before. And Veracity plays a big role in this market opportunity, because let's face it, when people go to sleep, before they go to sleep, what do? They watch a video, they consume content, they're on social media. And right when they get up from sleep, what do? They consume content, they watch videos, they consume social media. That's life for the majority of the people in the world. For myself even, right now, when I just woke up, I am up here consuming content, making the script for you guys and filming this video. So I'm consuming content and turning that into a video for you guys to watch, which you may be watching after getting up from bed and you got that little notification from YouTube saying that Donald has a new video up. But when we talk about growth statistics, they had some interesting numbers here. So they did a 2021, a worldwide survey was made on the weekly video content viewing habits on consumers, and they found that 63% of respondents use VOD services, either paid streaming or through online publishers. And online publishers, we can say, are like YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, things like that, compared to just 30% on traditional cable or satellite television channels. And interestingly enough, some 27% of respondents' weekly video streaming was dedicated to esports. So just putting it out there, I'm not a gamer, I'm a weird millennial that doesn't game, but I'm an opportunist. And that figure surprised me. I mean, right now, 27% of those eyeballs are targeted at esports. I'm telling you guys, there's something going on here that you probably should take a look at. So according to Insider Intelligence, VOD services will generate $120 billion in revenue during 2022. And for the first time, video ad placement will account for more than half of all ad spending in the USA, which is the world's largest advertising market. And finally, it was estimated that 2.3 billion users will have access to a subscription or some form of VOD service by 2026, which is a staggering 29% of the Earth's entire population. So guys, I've been using the term VOD, the acronym VOD, or video on demand, a lot. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically things like YouTube, Twitch, Netflix, Amazon Prime, videos on Facebook, Instagram. So any sort of video that you can just turn on and watch on demand. And the great thing about VOD is the ads that you run on them are targeted. The difference with traditional TV is that with traditional TV, you can run an ad. That's going to cost you thousands of dollars. And you can run that ad across the United States or across the world however you want it. But the problem is that you don't really know who's in that living room or in that room watching that ad. You don't know if the audience that you're targeting is someone that would actually be interested in your product. With traditional TV, We have Weibo. If they wanted to advertise on traditional TV, they don't know if the person that's watching their ad is someone who has money, which they want, if there's someone who is interested in investing in finance, which they want. But if they invest their marketing dollars into some personal finance YouTube channel, they know exactly the audience that they're going after, and they can get ad analytics on how well their ads are performing from YouTube. That is something that traditional TV doesn't give them. Alright, so what role does VRA have? If you haven't checked out my last video on VRA, please check that out because that really explains in depth what VRA is all about. Now with the Veracity, what they fix is ad fraud. And ad fraud really comes when bots view your video, right? When we have bots viewing the video and ads are ran on that video and the bots watch that ad, that's a zero return on investment because the bot is not going to buy your product, right? So when advertisers publish their ads and bots watch it, that is considered ad fraud, and that makes up for 11% of global ad traffic. So to give you an analogy, it's like running ads to millions of TVs across the country and nobody's in the living room watching them. So that is a 0% return on investment because no matter what, the advertiser still has to pay, but there's 0% ROI because nobody's watching your ad. And if you were a business, would you be pissed off if you spent millions of dollars running ads that nobody saw? I think so. So with VRA, two things are solved. Publishers can now prove that their views are actually being watched by people. And two, advertisers can now fight back against their 45% marketing ad budget loss to bots. So guys, before we get into the technical analysis, I just want to take a break here and ask you guys if you guys are getting any value from this video, if you're learning something, if you actually got one thing from this video so far, can you please just do me that favor of smashing that like button or subscribe button. If you didn't get any value from this, don't do anything. We'll just go into the technical analysis. But if you did actually learn something, please help me with that favor because I really appreciate it. So the Veracity chart here on TradingView is a really nice chart. It wasn't very nice for these people here who got in at the start at pretty much like 38 cents or something like that, and it just fell off the cliff. But it recovered, right? This is what we want to see when it comes to charting. We want to see things fall and then recover and reclaim and make all-time highs again. But what we can see here is that there's an inverse head and shoulder that happened right here because here's like the shoulder and then here's the head and then there's the second shoulder. And what happens after the last shoulder is that it usually blows up. So it goes to the last shoulder and then it takes a boom. Now aside from the inverse head and shoulder, we also have the head and shoulder here because what we see here is that's the first shoulder and then that's the head and then we go back into a shoulder. And what happens is that after this last shoulder, a head and shoulder really indicates that it's going from bullish to bearish. And it really just fell off and it went back into this zone, which makes it bearish. But it's not really bearish when we consider the trend, because if we draw a trend line here, if we draw a trend line from, let's say we could just use this one to here, we are still on a bullish trend. We're still going up. Unless it falls under this kind of like 0.007, then we're still in a bullish trend. So I wouldn't worry, but I do feel like right here at this point, we can still drop even further, but we're really looking at the price action of BTC because Vera is an altcoin, it will follow the price of BTC as well. So that's what we have to look at. But other than that, here are your zones. If we close under this, let's say like 1/600th of a cent, like close under this green line here, then we're in a new zone. That means that the support will be here at that 0.007. And if we actually took the fibs and drew a fib from this low point here to the high point here, you can see, I just did this with you, how coincidentally the Fibonacci just falls in line. So it falls in line here with the 786 with that green line that I have there, which acted as support for that inverse head and shoulder. And we can see that here again at the 883, which acted as support for what we have right now, because what we have right now is that wick over there, this just barely wicked it and then it went back up and started consolidating. So what happens is if that graph starts trending down and closes below this green line, then the next support that we're looking at is here at the 0.007. And remember, price has memory. This level was reached, this price was reached around July 19th, July 20th of the 2021. So that's what I'm looking at. So right now, I probably just wait and see what's happening like most of the other altcoins that I'm looking at. So what you want to do is up to you. So guys, if you want to learn more about reading charts and trading, then you can check out IM Academy below in the pinned comments or description below, or you can even schedule a free call with me and we can walk through it and everything about IM Academy that you want to know about. Because by trade, I'm a software engineer. I didn't learn about trading from anywhere. I just bumbled around until I stumbled into IM Academy. I joined and I like what they taught. So there's that. Now there's one last thing I want to go through before we close it out for today, and that is Verasity's total supply. So the total supply on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, I don't think they're accurate at all. So both of them says they're around 19 billion VRA tokens. So if you check that out, 19 billion. But on their Twitter, you could see that they actually do have a burn mechanism. And since their inception, 2.1 billion has been burned. And this has been dated 2019, so it's pretty old. But if you go over and check out this is their Medium post, they say that 2 billion of that was burned. And the total supply of VRA tokens can be checked on Etherscan here, which shows 10 billion, 356 million, and blah, blah, blah VRA tokens. So I would say that what's on Etherscan is much more reliable than what is on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. So please just use this number because this is from the blockchain, right? So that's what I would use instead of what is used on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, because we know that the numbers on CoinMarketCap can be skewed a little bit because they are a commercial enterprise. So that's why we'll just use the one from Etherscan. So that's it, guys. That's all I got for today. So I hope you got some value and learned something about VRA, or learned even more about VRA that you didn't know about. But other than that, if you can please, once again, help me by smashing the like button, smashing the subscribe button, checking out these videos on cryptocurrencies and passive income. And remember, guys, continue working, continue building, and continue inspiring. See you next time.